afternoon, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of NY Yankee Mania. How's everybody doing today? As I always say, it feels like I just spoke to you guys like 5 minutes ago, but we did end at 10 o'clock this morning. So I want to say hi to everyone. The lineup still hasn't come out for today's Yankee game yet. Tons and tons of rumors, which we'll get into in a little while. Remember, in just a short few minutes, we're going to go with a really, really nice interview live with world champion Jake Mcgee. Jake Mcgee was a world champion with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2020, and he was an absolute Yankee killer with the Tampa Bay Rays. So we're very excited to have him, and believe it or not, he's ready, willing, and able, just like the way he pitched. Really fantastic. So you know what? Without any further ado, let's bring him in and let's go for it. How you doing, Jake? Welcome to NY Yankee Mania.
Good. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Are you kidding? Where would you go back to pitching and this time come to the Yankees, please?
Yeah,
right. That for me, because you killed us. I have to get that out of the way. You killed us.
Yeah, my debut was against the Yankees too, back in 2010.
Yes, yes, and first of all, congratulations on being a world champion in 2020 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now there are, if you don't mind, there are a couple of questions for you, but we'll get. I want to get to the meat and potatoes with you first.
Oh yeah, definitely.
First of all, how did you know, and when did you know you can really be a major league ball player?
It was probably in 2008. I was moving up prospect ranks and was doing really well, and then I got hurt and had Tommy John surgery. And then after rehabbing that, I felt like I was getting close before. And then 2010, when I went back to starting, and I was getting close to my innings, and they're like, well, you might fit better in the bullpen. And it was around August, and they're like, all right, we'll bring you up to AAA. You'll pitch out of the bullpen. The only guy they had was Randy Choate. So I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. And I think I threw like 20-something innings and gave up one run. And I was like, all right, I think I'm definitely ready to be a reliever in the big leagues, and got called up September, then made the team in 2011, got down, got called back up the first day after the All-Star break. And I was like, I'm going to stay now. And I pitched 3 days in a row. I think I faced David Ortiz with a couple of guys on, then Steven Drew the next day with like bases loaded, and that pitch a third day. And I was like, all right, I'm probably going to get sent down, but I did really well. And from there on, I stayed up the whole time. Yeah,
well, you were tremendous against left-handed hitters.
Mm-hmm.
No question about that. So in your career, your earned run average was 3.71. You had 613 strikeouts, which is actually lucky. That's St. Anthony. Mm-hmm. So if you're into that I like. And you had 79 saves. It seems like you had 5,000 saves, especially when you fit. What was it about the Yankees that did that perk? Is it a different feel? Because I know the fans want to know. Is it a different feel when you're going up with the Yankees, or how did you feel?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a different feel. It's always hyped up a little more, especially when the Rays and Yankees were really competing, and both of us were really good. And going to Yankee Stadium and playing in front of the fans is always loud. It was always a little more intense, and always felt like there was a little more riding on the game compared to other teams that you played. Our biggest rivals were the Yankees back then, and the Red Sox too going in there. I think it's always, with the history that the Yankees have too, it's always makes it a little more stressful.
You have Evan, one of our loyal people in our family chat here, says, Jake, congratulations on a really good career.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very lucky to play as long as I did, and rely on pretty much my fastball the whole time.
Yeah, but the thing is, you look like, and not because you're in front of me, you look like you're 25 years old.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I
Oh,
turned 39 August 6th. So
well, God bless you. You don't look it at all. I mean,
thank
not that 39's old. I wish I was 39. I'd love to. So you have a question here, if you don't mind.
you.
Bryce says, "Hey Joe, when you get a chance, please ask Jake, what was the preparation day to day as a reliever, and what did you do? How did you recover from, all the times that you went in, maybe back to back days?" Thank you for the question.
Yeah, it was. That's a good question. I had a pretty good routine with stretching wise, and then arm care, and I would only lift a couple days a week, but plan it around how many days I would pitch and recovery wise. On recovery wise, if I pitched a couple days in a row, I was big on doing the contrast, like the hot tub, cold tub. But I did my arm exercises every time after I pitched, and I just started doing pitching lessons here. That's why I'm teaching a lot of the younger kids. Like, you need to do your arm care every day. Your arm bands before you pitch and after you pitch is really big. And I did that my whole career and didn't have many injuries. And I think that was a big part of it.
Now, when we were with the Rays, you did experience. I mean, obviously the playoffs, and you did have a World Series, correct? You were
Uh,
in the World Series with them, or was
no,
that
my
right
first time
before
pitching
you
in the
came?
World Series was the when I was with the Dodgers, and
Oh,
then
okay. Now, I was under the impression that because you guys were so tough on the Yankees, I always thought, let's
Mhm.
just go on to the next series because you guys were going to beat the Yankees no matter what. I mean, you guys, and it's still to today. No matter, I don't know what it is, but they have a great scouting system, and I
Mhm.
always want. I'll be honest with you. I've been a Yankee fan all my life. I've covered them and all that. And I got to tell you, I always wanted you to come over
Mhm.
somehow, some way. And it was like, oh, maybe now, maybe now. And unfortunately, it never happened. But we would need you now. We could,
Yeah,
we could
yeah,
definitely
right.
use you right now.
Yeah, I got a couple offers from the Yankees before I signed with the Giants in 21. But the Giants gave me a 2-year offer, and the Yankees were one, and had a handful of other ones. And I was leaning towards the Yankees too. But me and my family, just moved back to Reno, Nevada. So if we were still in Tampa, we probably would have picked the East Coast team. That's for sure.
Oh, real, sure. Now, how was it like for you in certain ballparks, like the Tropicana Field? And honestly, everybody says that's a bandwagon. How do you play in there? And
Hmm.
did you guys take that as a plus, or did you take that as a minus?
It's funny you asked that because I was talking to someone the other day about it, and I was like, it was really nice on the player side because you knew you were never getting rained out. It was going to be the same weather, same everything each day. The facilities were nice, and I was talking about the visual at Tropicana Field when you're a pitcher and you're facing a hitter there. It feels like you're really close and on top of the hitter compared to other stadiums that feels farther and some feel closer. But I think Tropicana is probably one of the best visual for pitchers and hitters too.
When you pitched at Yankee Stadium, was the field different? Was it? I mean, obviously, in your home ballpark, I think it was what 25,000 is the max or something
Mhm.
like that, and
Yeah.
Yankee Stadium was like 50,000. What was the feel? You go in there and you're in the bullpen. Did
Mhm.
they leave you alone over there? Did they heckle you? Because a lot of players would tell me, "Oh, forget it, Joe. I got heckled like crazy," which I think is ridiculous, but you
I
know,
Yankee Stadium, they had that little room back there in the bullpen, and then even when you're out there, the Yankee fans were never too bad to us. Yeah, it was never too bad, but Yankee Stadium always felt a lot bigger than in any other stadium, especially when you're on the mound. Everything just felt really big there. And the fans overall weren't too bad at heckling. You'd always get some here and there, but it usually wasn't too bad.
how about playing for the Dodgers in 2020? How would you compare Dodger Stadium and the fans to the Yankee fans? I mean, the
Um,
whole, the whole atmosphere. I'm saying. I'm sorry.
yeah, the whole atmosphere in 2020 when I played the Dodgers, we didn't have any fans there for playing as a home team in that way,
That's
but
right. That's right.
playing
The
with
COVID. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, but like being there as a visitor, you get heckled a good amount. There, it's always packed. The culture there is really good too. But when I was with the Rockies, we'd go there and they'd always have have good fans, and it usually the heckling wouldn't be too bad. But when we were with the Giants, it was a little different because the rivalry, and it was a little more intense in 21 and 22. So
What was the feel like? I know that no people in the stands, but to win that world championship, I mean, obviously it had to be satisfying for you, yeah, with your career, which was fantastic. And I'm excited for you that because you deserve it. You were a really good relief pitcher, no question about it.
no,
So
thank you.
how was the feeling of winning a world championship? Did you feel like, oh, now I did it? We made it through the rain.
Yeah, I think so. The getting the ring that year was awesome, and it was kind of like an icing on the cake because it was towards the end of my career. I didn't know how many more years I was going to play, but like in the back of my mind before I was going to decide to retire, I was like, okay, I got World Series ring, and that was probably one of the hardest years too in 2020 because we could only go from the stadium to the hotel. We could only order food whatever the hotel provided, and it was a lot different with the masks and everything, doing like the tests every day, and that was definitely I feel like that was harder than a regular World Series, and just trying to get prepared each day and knowing you can't leave the hotel, you have to go hotel to the stadium, and that's it.
Oh yeah, exactly. That was a time that I'm just happy we had baseball at that point. I just
Mm-hmm.
um all right, so we're getting close. Take us through, if you don't mind, your mindset and baseball players' mindset when it comes close to the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
What goes through your mind, and you know are you thinking about, oh God, I got to relocate, I got to do this, what goes through the mind? And are you always looking at the media? Are you looking at your phone? Are you looking at TV? What is a mindset of a ball player when that happens?
I think that you hear a lot of like the rumblings when it comes around to the trade deadline. I got traded once, and it was in the off season when I went from Tampa to the Rockies. And leading up to that, we heard a lot like a couple weeks before, like the Rockies were really interested, and then there'd be another team, and then you'd be at home and you think about like, oh, like what if we went here or here? But it's hard because it's out of your control, and wherever they trade you, they trade you, and it's really hard in that way, mentally wise, just to prepare for it. And then you get a call when you get traded, and you got to go there. You can't say no.
Yeah,
Really.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's
So I
gotta,
think
it's got to be
media.
hard on you, the family, and all that. That's for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
Evan has a question. What was it like going from the Rays to the Dodgers?
How it was actually really comfortable because when I got let go by the Rockies, and they called, and I played with Brandon Gomes, and I knew Ranger Freeman from Tampa. So it
Hmm.
was very comfortable, and they run a very similar pitching side, developmental side. They give you tons of information, and both of those teams run really good from top to bottom, on the behind closed doors. So
Yeah, I'm definitely sure. I want to remind everyone we are talking with former world champion Jake Mcgee. Will always be with them for the rest of his life, and that could be that's just a dream come true for any major league player, for anybody that follows baseball. Jake, a lot of youngsters ask me, when you talk to a former ball player or a ball player, what's the attitude do you need when you're playing little league, do you think, and moving on up? How do you stay focused, and what would you tell the kids at this point?
I tell a lot of the kids that you put in the work, and you put in your practices and lessons, and do it the right way, you're going to get better. But it's a lot of the discipline and getting better and staying disciplined to it. And you're going to have to make some sacrifices when you're in high school and college. Make good choices. And if it's staying home for the weekend and going to a baseball tournament instead of going to the lake, like there's certain sacrifices in those ways, but you have to put the work in and, do it the right way and get better. And it's very mental too. I was talking to one of the guys last week, and he said that he's like, the one thing I wish I'd learned better when I was younger, even in high school, was the more mental side, because you're going to have
Yeah, Yeah,
you're gonna have bad days, and that's going to be hard mentally wise to be ready the next day and ready to go. So.
right. And that leads into the next question. Bryce wants to know what was your mental state when you were struggling with control, and how would you break that funk?
For me, control wise, I through over the years, there's multiple different mental coaches and people would come in, and I would just pick one or two things from each of them, and I would always write in my hat three things would be feel the ball, take a breath, and pound the zone. And I would read that in my hat, and I'd have my wife and daughter's initials in there and my number and things. But I'd always look at that before, or if I felt things were going a little too quick, I would just step off the mound and take a breath and reset, and then be ready to go, because it can it could snowball very fast, and once that happens, there's can't really get back to normal.
Another question from our email from Bob. Bob asks, "What's it like being away from the family for at least 6 months, and you want it to be 8 months going into the World Series? How hard it is for you, especially if you have kids?"
It's hard, but every family and every player does it different with their family. But what my family we'd always do, they would come on with most of the road trips, and then we have a daughter too, so they would travel most of the road trips, so we'd be together a lot. But then towards the end of my career, when I got picked up by the Nationals, my daughter was in school, so I didn't see him for a month and a half, and it makes it hard when it's that long. And some people do it all season, and it makes it hard on the family and the kids, and especially when they get a little older.
Mhm.
That's why I was lucky that I was able to help come back and help coach my daughter's teams and stuff like that when she's still young, instead of missing a lot of that. So.
And he also asks, so your final season and your last game, how did you feel, going into February and March, that you weren't going to a ball club? How did that make you feel? And were you like, oh my God, I got to go? And, how was that mental state for you?
That's what I tell a lot of people when they ask questions like that, to where when I was with the Nationals the last month of my career, I already decided, like, I was going to retire. My knee was hurting, and like my hip was stiff, and my body was just kind of giving out a little bit, and didn't want to travel and not really have a choice. Like the next year I would have had to sign like a non-roster invitee and then be bouncing around, and already played 13 seasons in the big league. So it was like my choice to retire instead of grinding out in AAA for a year or two, up and down. I think it was like, all right, over my 10 years service time, I have a World Series ring. I was at peace at it. So it was nice. I wasn't too worried about
Yeah.
moving next February, so.
And yeah, awesome. But you have here's another question, actually, from Anna. Anna asks you, when you won the World Series, did that really change your life? How did you feel, and how did your family feel? They must have been very proud of you.
Everyone was proud of us, and it felt really good to win a World Series ring. But it was still kind of different because there was no parade or anything like that. Which I would have maybe won another one and had the full parade and the whole thing like that, because we didn't even have anything like that. So it was kind of not the normal winning a World Series kind of event. So.
Kevin asks, Jake, congratulations on a great career. I wasn't too thrilled how you did to the Yankees, but we admire how you pitched. But his question is, what about going out with either the guys or whatever? Where was your favorite food? What was your favorite town? And what's your favorite stadium? Whoa, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we'd usually go to a whole bunch of different steakhouses when we go to different places. I think the two main ones were Capitol Grill and Mastro's, and then different ones like that in different cities. And those are usually the easiest places to get a group of 10 to 15 guys in there. And then some of the cities you like going to, always like going to New York. There's always a lot of things to do. And then going to Chicago and going to Wrigley was always really cool too. And then some of the stadiums, I always say Target Stadium is actually really cool backdrop and all
Minnesota.
that. Yeah, Minnesota. That stadium's actually really cool. And in Seattle, how they have the bullpen set up is really neat. And where you sit in the bullpen, you're almost overlooking the outfield fence.
Oh,
And I always
yes.
remember that one because I was in the stands when Felix Hernandez threw the perfect game against us. I always remember
Oh,
it was a
yeah.
day game
That's
and
right.
sitting in the bullpen, and you can kind of feel by the sixth, seventh inning that we weren't even going to get a base runner.
Oh, yeah. That's great. You brought that in the dugout. If you're getting no hitted, is there any superstition? Is there like you move what you do? I know ball players are very. I mean, I knew from Wade Boggs, I saw that. But what do? I mean, do you, you just sit there and say, "Hey, we got to do something. We got to bunt. We got to do that." What's the mindset on all of that? How do
I
you
think
feel?
some of the hitters side, I think they try to do too much pressure, and depending on if it's close game or not, if they will bunt because they don't want to, you know, stand out for the guy who bunted and breaking up a no hitter. But the pitching side of it, usually when the pitcher comes in, everyone stays away, and the pitcher's kind of like in his own bubble, and no one really bothers him if he's throwing a no hitter, and just stay away.
Yeah, exactly. You have another one from Mike. Mike asks, the Yankees this year have been a very strange ball club. They're in and out with with a lot of their players. And for an example, he says, I just heard that Cody Bellinger, one of their best hitters, is not in the lineup. What does this do to a team that you have really good players, but they go in and out of the lineups? Can that really hurt a team or a guy mentally, physically? How do you deal with that?
I think a lot of times it all depends on the player, and every organization does a little different to where they'll look at the matchups and previous matchups, and the analytical side gets in the way a lot of it. But a guy like Bellinger, he's been with the Dodgers, and they're very communicative to where they will tell a lot of the players, be like, you're going to play this day, not this day, or you're only going to face certain pitchers. And on the pitching side, they would tell us, like, you're going to fit, these are your four hitters you're going to face as a reliever, and be ready and do research on those. And we'll put you in the right positions to succeed. And I think every player is a little different, but I think some of them need to play every day and see lefties and righties.
You have another one from Bob. Bob asked, Jake, again, I wanted to know with the extra inning, how would you have handled, or did you handle man on second and nobody out? Do you think that's fair? Do you like that rule, or would you like that changed?
That's one I actually don't really mind too much, because after you've played a couple games where you're playing 16, 18 innings and
Right.
you're playing for 6 straight hours, I think how they set it up to where the run is not an earned run for the pitcher, but you can still get a loss. But strategy wise, when I would go in, I would always try to get, if it was a righty, I'd try to throw inside and try to get him to pop it up in the infield, or hit it to the left side to keep him at second. And after that, even if they're at third, you'd have to try to strike him out, because more than likely they're gonna score that run. And made it kind of interesting and different strategies, and you had to go in knowing there's going to be a guy at second when you start the inning. So
Yeah, that's really question. I'm not crazy about it, but especially that the Yankees don't do well for some reason with especially even though they're the home team, they barely win. They won like 2 games the whole year like that. There's some of the changes. What about the umpires are getting really beat up this year? Do you feel it's justified, or you may not want to answer that honestly, but you feel that it's justified? That would you like to see the automatic strike zone and see how that goes, or how would you feel about what do you feel about that?
I'm like a year or two ago when they were talking about it, I was more against it, but I did a couple of rehab assignments in AAA, and they were using the automatic strike zone, and I think it's I think it'll be good, and they're taking their time doing it too, to where like they put it in the All-Star game, and then all the players will have next spring training to get used to it again, and then all next season. So they're not going to implement. If it was implemented next year, I'd feel like it'd be a little rushed. But seeing how well it works in AAA and that you get the certain challenges, I think, and even for the fans being able to see the visual, if it's a striker ball, it's more concrete than arguing and saying, "Oh, you missed this call, made this call." At least some of those you can see a little better.
You have a question here, actually, from one of our loyal listeners. It's actually a pharmacy that listens every day, and they say congratulations. Not happy that you did a lot to the Yankees, but we do want to congratulate you. Basically, they wanted to know, what was your favorite manager?
Mm-hmm. It was probably Joe Madden was probably one of the favorite managers. He always kept things really loose and keep things fun and switch it up all the time. I remember we were struggling for a couple of games, and he brought in like penguins and different animals in the clubhouse before the game to kind of switch stuff up. And getting called up and having Joe Madden as the manager and just super relaxed and always helped all the young guys. I think that helped Tampa a lot, is where they never had pressure on any of the young guys coming up, and it always meshed really well.
They also add, and who was your favorite player on either the team? Who was a clown? Who was very serious? And who did you idolize growing up?
I always like Randy Johnson growing up, and then you always have a couple really funny guys on the team. And then let's see. I think Kike Hernandez is a really funny guy, and then I always relied on a couple bullpen guys with younger in my career, like Grant Balfour. He helped me out a lot, and then lefty Randy Choate. And then Balfour was always a different guy when he went on the mound, that's for sure.
Bryce asks, who was a hitter who had your number in your career that you felt like you couldn't get out forever?
Let's see. There's one guy, Miguel Cabrera.
Well,
everyone know who that is.
Everybody on it.
Yeah. He was one of the only hitters who I would face, and it felt like he already knew what I was going to throw and the location I would throw it. And even if I threw exactly where I wanted to, he'd hit it in the gap or, do it in that way. But he was probably one of the hardest ones because he always knew what he was thinking, and he did his homework all the time.
Oh, yeah. Sean Browning contributed to the show, so asks, Jake, what is it like under different managers and different styles? What was it like interacting with lifers and legends of the game?
Different managers and styles I had all the different managers, and the older ones and younger ones. And I think that a lot of times now they'll let you do your own kind of regiment and routine. And then the younger ones are more analytical and hands-on. And the older guys will still stick to some of the different drills. But I think as long as you know what you're doing, it's pretty cool. And then for the legends in that way, it's always cool seeing the guys in the clubhouse and all the players come around a lot. And then playing against Jeter and Rivera towards the end of their career, and it was really cool being there for Rivera's last game at Yankee Stadium. And they're just really nice guys.
Well, Jake, I got to tell you, you are a very popular guy here because I can't ask any questions. This is about the fans, and there's questions galore here. You may have to stay with me till the end of the Yankee game.
There's a lot of questions.
As long as you don't mind, I can't get a question in, but I got to go with these people. Jake, this is from Jake to Jake. What was the vibe of your teams when there was a losing streak? Do the players get on each other to do better, or is it quiet, relaxed atmosphere? How do you go about the next day?
A lot of times on losing streaks, it depends how long it is. If it's a couple games, it's going to happen. But when it gets longer, they'll usually have a team meeting and players only, and everyone will have each other's back and try to, just don't put too much pressure on yourselves. And a lot of the veterans would run the meeting and, make it simple and, usually get us out of it after that. But it usually takes at least a players meeting and get rid of all the distractions.
Ken asks, as a pitcher, how difficult was it to pitch in Coors Field?
It is not easy, that's for sure. The ball flies and the ball carries a lot more there. But one of the bigger things is that their outfield's so big to where you give up a bloop single and then you give up another bloop and then it's first and third, or even the guy scores on that as the outfield's so big there. And just the ball moves so different. And you have to aim where you're going to throw your pitches a lot different than anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Jake, you're going to have to come on a lot more often. This doesn't stop. And you're getting a lot of women over here, and I thank you for that. No, Teresa asks, what was your most exciting, aside from the championship, what was your most exciting moment in the dugout? And did it ever get too much for you when you said, you know what, this is it? These are the questions I'm getting.
Yeah, no worries at all. I think one of the biggest moments, other than the winning the World Series and a lot of the playoff games, was the game 163 when Longoria hit the walk-off home run.
Yes,
and we were losing 7-0, and we thought it was over, and then we came back and won the game, and then made it to the playoffs. That game was really crazy when Longoria hit the walk-off home run.
Well, that knocked out, if I believe, the Orioles or the Red Sox. It knocked out somebody that the Yankees and their fans wanted out.
Yeah, I think it knocked out the Orioles. The Red Sox.
I think it was the Orioles, right?
Yeah, and their Red Sox were
that was crazy. That was a crazy game. John the Beagle, do you guys ask for each other's autographs ever?
Yeah, usually quite a bit. When I was earlier in my career, I would try to get a lot of jerseys signed by guys who I thought were going to be in the Hall of Fame. So I got like Jeter, Rivera, and Jim Thome, and Chipper Jones, and those guys like that. And it happens all the time. Guys ask for jersey swaps and signing balls and all that.
Evan asks, do you still connect with your former teammates / managers?
Here and there I do. Like some people who I'm close with playing wise, like talked to Wade Davis a couple weeks ago, and then we have our fantasy football league is a lot of retired Rays players, so kind of connect in that way too. So.
Okay. And can I get a question in, guys? Is that all right? You basically asked everything. I don't know if I have any left here. My God. Would you, out of all the players throughout baseball, if you could be in a dungeon with somebody, with just one person, have dinner with them, who would that be? Simple question.
Yeah, I would say maybe Mariano Rivera or Billy Wagner, one of the closers, because I threw mainly all fastballs, and Rivera pretty much threw one pitch, and I tried to watch how he pitched a lot too and how he used his pitches, because he would use his cutter in 4 different locations, and to pick their brain out in that way would have been really cool, like as I was still playing.
Yashin asks, what is your favorite ballpark to pitch in, or was your favorite?
Let's see. I always like pitching in Wrigley. Wrigley always felt really close. Fenway, Yankee Stadium, and let's see. And I always like pitching in Tampa because I always feel really close. Always good visuals there.
Now you obviously you pitched in the old Yankee Stadium and the new one, correct?
No, I missed the old one by 2 years.
Year.
1 year, yeah, 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure because you see the difference. A lot of people say that it was intimidating before this. Now, maybe because they haven't won since 2009, but they say it's a little different atmosphere. Do you feel that it's still a crazy ballpark to go and visit? Especially
I think it still is, but I heard from a lot of players exactly what you said, to where the older stadium felt a lot more like it was closing in on you more, and then now the new one just bigger overall feels. So I think the new one just feels bigger and doesn't feel on top of you as much. So.
Ken, who actually is a co-host here on the show, he asks, when you were an active major leaguer, did you sponsor or participate in charitable foundations? If so, which one and why? Boy, they're putting you on the spot here.
When I was in Tampa, we would go to the Children's Hospital a couple times a year, and then every off season, me and my wife, we've done. We get foster families, and we get Christmas gifts for them, and we've been doing that for 15 years. And
that's excellent.
We have usually 2 to 5 families, depending on the year. Mm-hmm. Then we deliver it on our anniversary on Christmas Eve every year.
So you are on a few teams.
Mm-hmm.
They want to know. So let's see. This is Bob again. He wants to know, out of all the teams, which one was your favorite, and who are you rooting for right now?
My favorite team overall playing for was probably Tampa. I was in the organization for the minor leagues for 6 years, and then 5 years in the big leagues, and always had a great time there starting my career. And then what was the other part of the question?
Who is your favorite? Who is your favorite team? And where did you have the most excitement? Basically, is what they're asking.
Oh, okay. My year 2021 with the Giants, I think that was my best year of my career overall. And closing that year, I had 31 saves, and that was really fun. And play for the Giants, and being in Reno and being so close was really cool because there's tons of Giants fans here too, and it was pretty neat having that good a career or that good a year, and thus beating the Dodgers out by 1 game and winning 107 games, and then having to play them in the division series and going to 5 games that year was pretty cool.
That was incredible. You guys must have, what a roller coaster, huh?
Yeah,
back and forth. Bryce says, "What was your hardest fastball, and how did it feel?"
Howard's fastball was it was like 101.2 or 3, and it was actually at Fenway, and it was my second game that day. We had a doubleheader, and I pitched the first game, and then I pitched the second game, and that was actually my hardest I ever threw.
Wow, that is, and I loved your style. You came from the side, and I think that just threw hitters off, man. But right now, I'm telling you, and they're telling me in there, tell him to work out again because he looks like a kid. Oh my God. Yeah, you do. You honestly, I mean, I don't know how you feel, but you definitely look like you're ready to come back.
No, I feel like if I really did work out and did that, I probably could, but no more than a year, I would think. But yeah, I had a lot of deception and hit the ball really well, and my movement was always really good. So,
do you like the way baseball's going right now, or are you an old-fashioned guy? Do you like all these changes? Do you like that what happened to the bunt? The bunt is like almost obsolete now. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on? Oh, and another thing, while I forget, do you like the that you have to get 3 batters out? Do you feel that would that have helped you or hurt you when you were pitching?
I don't think it would affect me too much because I was never just a one hitter kind of guy where I would always be out there for at least an inning or longer. I actually kind of like that one because it was almost getting a little too much for you see 3 pitchers in 1 inning, and that one I don't mind too much. And I'm just not a big fan of like the pitch clock now too, to where it's rushing people too much. I feel like, and then the hitter still gets a timeout, but I think a lot of the players are adjusting to it now. So.
Well, you have one that's going to put you on the spot here. What team would you like to see in the world? What 2 teams would you like to see in the World Series this year?
Let's see.
You're not forced to say the Yankees.
In my opinion, watching it here this year, I think I'm trying to think of teams with really good rotations too, to where I think that the Cubs with their young staff and their young players will have a really good chance. And then the American League, let's see. I think the Yankees really do have a good chance with their rotation. It's got to hit a little better, and then I would say Cubs Yankees overall.
Bryce is saying you'd be the Yankee closer right now. What do you think about that? But they really like you because they didn't like you when you were pitching, but they love you right now.
Yeah,
They
not
want
when I
you
was
to come back.
pitching. Yeah, right.
Um, I don't know how much you do follow and you see it, but in my opinion, right now, if the Yankees don't get, they need to get at least one or two elite middle innings guys because
Mhm.
right now it's scary. If the starting pitcher doesn't go at least 6 innings, it's who's who, and there's a disappointment with some guys like Loizaga. Tim Hill's been okay, but that middle with Cruz going down was a big loss,
Mhm.
and so right now I believe that if the Yankees are going to really contend, they have to get two more relievers.
At
Louis
least.
Hill is coming back. So that's a plus. But yeah, a lot of the former players this year really seem to feel that the Yankees have a great chance to get back to the World Series. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, I mean, what is what when you see and hear about Aaron Judge, what goes through your mind?
He's just a really big human being, and he's a he has a really good approach to the plate too. He doesn't go up there and just. He's never been a guy who chases too many pitches. He always has a good balanced approach at the plate. He'll take his walks and hit the ball where it's pitched instead of trying to force things to happen. And with his natural power, it helps out so much.
Yeah, again, no question about it. But then you got somebody like Giancarlo Stanton that I mean, he's all or nothing, but there's
Mhm.
something about him that there's a lot of fear. Did you face Giancarlo Stanton a few times, and
Yeah.
was that a scary sight? Because I know coaches would run. They don't want to be
Yeah,
in a live drive.
he'd hit the ball really hard. That's for sure. I faced him quite a bit, and I would pitch to him like I'd pitch to face the Judge a couple of times, to where I would just try to stay up and away. And if I went in, you got to make sure it's in off the plate a little bit, because if they get the barrel to it, it's going to go really far. And Stanton would chase a lot of the fastballs up and away to lefties too. So I think we just got a lot of good scouting reports too.
Do you have? I'll just give a couple of more questions.
Mhm.
Yankee Red Sox rivalry. Did you ever think maybe I'd love to be in that? It must be like incredible. What would you see like when you might see the game on TV or whatever close up?
Mhm.
But what'd you think of that rivalry? And do you think it's as strong as it was?
Yeah, the rivalry was really big. I think it still is, and I think it'll, with all the young guys that the Red Sox have now. I think being part of that and pitching for either one of those clubs would have been really cool. I was like going to both places, and would be cool to be in that rivalry. And I think it's not as strong as it was, in the 2000s, but I think the rivalry is going to get stronger, especially if they're both playing better.
There's a lot of rumors that there's a possible work stoppage at the end of next year.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think the chances are of something like that? Do you think it would really hurt the game that it won't happen? Or do you think that, from what you're hearing, do you think they are far apart? Do you think that either the players or the owners right now? What's your feeling on that?
I haven't looked into it too much, but I've heard rumblings of being a work stoppage and them being a little too far off. But I think they don't have. I've heard they don't have as many. Um, they're not opposite on too many things what they were compared to last work stoppage. So I think it'll. My gut feeling is that it'll get close to the work stoppage, but I don't think at the end of the day it's going to stop, because I feel like baseball doing really well as a whole right now, and it would hurt the game a little too much if there was a work stoppage with the next bargaining agreement.
As far as Tampa next year, do you see them possibly going back to Tropicana Field, or do you think they might stay at George M. Steinbrenner Field at this point? What have you heard?
I think they might be at Steinbrenner again, but after I read it, I've been keeping up with how they sold the team to the group out of Jacksonville, and they really want to keep the team. They want to build a stadium in Tampa, and I think that would be the best for the team overall to get more fans, and they don't have to worry about driving back and forth over the bridge all the time. It's there's so many outlets to go into Tampa right there, even from Orlando and all those areas. I think it'll be good for Tampa to have a new stadium in Tampa, but I think they'll probably play Steinbrenner for one more year. I think, especially if the new ownership isn't getting along with the people in St. Pete, all the council and stuff, they might just be like, fine, stay in Tampa. So
I would think this actually is a blessing for Tampa, because they're in a stadium where obviously it's a Yankee brand and everything, but they can get a lot more fans involved with the year, and they're having a pretty good year. They play very well there, and I think that's going to help them no matter where they go. I really think this is a plus for Tampa, and I'm sure we were talking the other day with someone, and he turned around and said, I don't know if they'd want to leave with the accommodations that's there. It's like incredible, the workout that they, and all of that. And not because it's the Yankees, don't get me wrong. I would say that with any team. But I would think that the Rays will get more fans. I really do. I've watched videos of Tampa on YouTube, and I could see it. I could see that they're building a nice core. They sell out. I mean, I know it's only 9,000-10,000, but a lot of those people maybe never went to Tropicana Field. And listen, maybe if they get another 5,000 people, it's going to be very successful for them. I can't. The best hitter you've seen on the in the years that you were there on the Tampa Bay Rays, would it be somebody like Longoria? Who would you say was their best player?
I think best player overall. I think Longoria was definitely the best hitter overall, best pure hitter in power, contact, defense, third base, and then pitcher wise, like just watching James Shields go out there every 5 days and want to throw a complete game every time with him and Price there. And that was cool to be around those pitchers too.
The nasty one says, what about Carl Crawford?
Carl Crawford is a really good player. I only got to play for him a little bit before he went to Boston, to the Red Sox. But he was probably one of the best base stealers and knew how to steal and utilize his speed more than anyone. And his outfield was really good when he was at Tampa.
Yashin asks, what do you think of the pitch clock?
I'm not a huge fan of the pitch clock. I've heard from a couple of other pitchers to where if they added maybe a couple seconds in there, would be a little more comfortable. But I think with it, kind of have to adjust to it and switch up your routine to make it a little better for you.
Oh yeah, no question about it. And I understand that you got a very busy week. You're going to be all over the place. You are a guy in demand, and I could tell you anytime we would love to have you on again, especially during the play, whatever the playoffs, going into the playoffs. And I want to thank Nitin that he brought you on here, and you had some career, man. I wish you and your family nothing but the best. I'm sorry for all the questions, but I always look at it that the fans are what makes us all. So I think hopefully the next time I'll be able to get a few questions in, because I don't want to
a couple more questions.
What?
A couple more questions for you.
Oh, geez. Yeah, a couple more. But you know what? I want to see you come back. So maybe the heart of the pennant race. I really enjoyed this. I hope you did too.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I got a busy week of podcasts this week. I think I have one
Well,
every day.
I still say put the uniform on, get out there, and come to the New York Yankees. We will welcome you with open arms.
I appreciate it.
Well, you and your family, God bless all of you. And you have anything special this summer that you guys are doing, or
No,
anything
not
going
really.
on?
No, I've been coaching my daughter's softball quite a bit, and just getting into. I started doing pitching lessons from kids from 9-year-olds through college right now. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
cool
Okay.
getting back to that. And so just doing that and coaching my daughter's softball. So
How's she doing with the softball?
good. Yeah. She's on the 10U travel team, and then going to do Little League for fall. And she really enjoys it. So
Does she go, my dad was a ball player? She got to be
more
very.
her teammates say that. Yeah. More teammates are like, oh, your dad played for this. And they'll ask me questions and stuff like that. So.
That's great. And again, we really appreciate the time, and I appreciate. Again, I apologize for all the questions, but they really wanted to ask you. It's not every day that we have a really great former player and a world champion, by the way, and we appreciate it, Jake. And again, you're welcome to NY Yankee Mania anytime. Stop in, say hello. We'd love to have you again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And a big thank you to Nitin and his crew to get you on with us. And everybody here says congratulations, and let's go Yankees. That's what they're telling me to tell you right now.
Yeah. No.
At least you made their day. You said that they may go to the World Series, so that's a big plus.
Yeah, that's true.
But I can't thank you enough. You have a wonderful week. Good luck with all your podcasts and interviews and everything. And congratulations on a great career. And God bless you and your family.
Thank you. You too. Yeah, appreciate you having me on.
Anytime, really. You stay well, and hopefully we'll speak to you down the pennant stretch.
Sounds good.
You have a great day. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. And so does the fans. Thanks.
Of course.
Yeah, have a great day. All right, everyone. You heard, my God, you guys were relentless. Thank you. I really, really appreciate all the questions, not only in the chat, but in the email. I try to get to anything. I tried my best, guys. If I missed any questions, I'm really sorry. But when they say that they're going to come back, they do come back. So hopefully we can get that done. So let's go. Let's see what's going on here. The nasty one says, now let's talk about trading Spencer Jones. Oh, here we go. Can I have a break? Let me give you guys the lineup first, okay? Let's talk about the lineup. All right, so we have Trent Grisham leading off, playing center field. Aaron Judge batting second. Right field, Chaz Chisholm moves up to the third spot, hitting third. Giancarlo Stanton is the cleanup hitter. Jason Dominguez is batting fifth in left field. Paul G is batting sixth at first base. Austin Wells will be hitting seventh, catching. Anthony Volpe will be hitting eighth at shortstop, and Oswald Peraza will be hitting ninth and playing third base. And, of course, our pitcher is Carlos Rendon. He is 10-6, 119.2 innings. His ERA is really good, 3.08, with a whip of 100, 135 strikeouts, and 41 walks. It's a good lineup, but I am a little bit annoyed that there's no Bellinger. Now, maybe he doesn't hit Gausman well. I don't know. I hope there's no injury. We're not seeing any injury of any kind, so who knows? The nasty one says we win two and change it again. Hey, Charles, how you doing? Oh, I was hoping you'd come a little bit earlier to ask a question to Jake Mcgee, but thank you so much for coming on. Everything's good, Charles. We're waiting for the we had a very good interview. you can go back and watch the video here. He was so kind to answer each and every one of your questions. And I thanks so much. Sean Browning, thank you so much for asking questions. I really appreciate it. I see us getting Mitch Keller and Schlittler and arms for Suarez. Possibility, Sean. Possibility. Hopefully we'll have you on soon, and we'll discuss it. We'll dissect it, and you're always welcome here on the show. And we'd love to talk to you. Charles, okay, you're forgiven. You forgot. That's okay. Just go back. I had him on immediately, so you don't have to dig for it. You could just go to it. It was a very nice interview, and you guys were awesome, asking all those questions. And everybody on the email, thank you so much. Richmond Valley Pharmacy, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support each and every day. And John and Bob, thank you. And some new women here, Anna and Teresa. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate it. Bryce is saying Mitch Keller is gaining steam and sounds like it's going to happen per reports. Not crazy about it. Do you guys think that Mitch Keller is going to move the needle more than like a Stroman, somebody like that? Let me know. Okay, Mick the Quick. Good, thank you. So Bellinger is 2 for 22 against Gosman, but these games are huge. He should be playing. His defense is elite. I'm sure he's going to come in the late innings. Yes, way better than Stroman. Okay. As long as they don't give up like a top 5 or top 6, I'm okay with it. But why not put in IKF maybe in there? Go a little bit better, and then concentrate on more relief on the relief pitching, because now you settled on your starting pitcher. So if this happens, and we will be on it, and I will be getting more and more on all of this. Hey, Jonathan, thanks so much. Mick the Quick again. Thank you for that, for doing your homework. I really appreciate that a lot. Mitch Keller is not a bad pitcher, according to Charles. Sean Browning, Mitch Keller is a candidate for change of scenery and an upgrade to Stroman and Warren. Great. He has a lot of experience in the National League. He knows the teams, which is nice. That's why sometimes I like getting a National League pitcher, because, you don't know who you're going to see in there. I know he pitches pretty well against the Mets. And I've got to dig in more to see what he does with everybody else. I guess in a big game, you would probably trust Mitch Keller more than Warren. That's good. But look at it this way: if you have Rendon and Max Fried, and eventually Lucille, and then Keller, and then we'll see who they decide will be number 5. Pittsburgh is a pitching factory. Yeah, Sean, you're absolutely right. That is a good place for the Yankees to go. And I'm hoping that they. Listen, we need a trade. We need something. How about Keller and Bednar? Yes, that would take care of 2 problems. We would, everybody moves up. So now the starting pitcher, let's say 5 innings. That's all you got to give us. 5 innings, and then you go down the line, Tim Hill, and then you're going to get eventually Cruz back. Now you're talking. You got to get Cruz back. That's a must. Congratulations on the Phillies winning out on the David Robinson sweepstakes. I would have taken a chance on him, but I don't think the Yankees are going to fork over $6 million for a 40-year-old man. They probably don't think it moves the needle much. They might think that he'll break down. I think it's a good Philly pickup. When he signed with the Phillies, he was always hurt, so they're giving him another try. There's no question about it. So let's see how it goes. Here's another one. Mick the Quick, Jake Fishman making lineup. Boone is spineless and a figurehead. We all know why. Analytics. I can't stand that word. Can't stand it. Okay, and how about this? Mr. Nasty Jones hit another homer today. Are you hearing me? The man is a machine. He's a machine. You can't trade him. Please, no. Oh my God. Oh my God. The way he's hitting, we better get three stars. Oh no, he didn't. Jonathan knows he's not going to fool around. Jonathan, did he hit one? Now I'm forced to take a look. So I have to take a look here. Somebody's saying no, he didn't, and usually Jonathan is the master of information. So what's going on here? They didn't play yet. So, oh man, you got to put me in that, Jonathan. What's going on here? They haven't played yet. So, Jonathan, you might have been looking at something else. The master of information, loose with the facts. Well, I apologize, everyone. I thought, sometimes they have mid-afternoon games. But that's right. Wait a minute. I got tricked because they don't play on Mondays. What am I saying? Jonathan, you're a bad boy. You owe us now. You owe us. Yeah, okay. I figured that, Jonathan. You got to pass. Major League Baseball was showing yesterday's game. Okay. All right, let's forgive him, guys, because he's incredible with information. Nitin Sports, how you doing? I thank you so much for Jake. We had a really nice conversation, and we were flooded with questions. And he was a big trooper, and I think he really enjoyed the interview. Hey, let's welcome him in. He's at the Trenton Dutner game. Hey,
we had to do some pregame stuff. So.
Oh well, great. The Nasty one says great interview. So that thank you, Nasty, on that. Did you get to hear any of it?
I heard some of it.
Okay. He was great. I'd love to have him on again. And he does pick the Yankees for possibly going into the World Series or challenging, especially if they make a few trades. Nitin, they are saying here that they might be closing in on Keller. Do you like that move?
Wait, where do you guys hear that?
Let's see. They're not.
Carlos.
Not sure, but I think I saw it on X also, but I'm going with what they're saying. Charles says hi, Nitin. How you doing? Noah Hiles for Bruce. Oh, the Pittsburgh Reporter, according to Bryce.
Let me see.
So I guess that's Noah Hiles, whatever. Boone could get Bonds and would rest him 2 times a week. They're not playing Bellinger, but we were told here just a few minutes ago that he's 2 for 22 against Gausman. Yashin is now reporting the Yankees are very close on making a trade with the Pirates.
Wow. It has to be for 3 players then, most likely.
Bryce is asking, Joe, did you like my questions? Of course I did. Why not? Jake liked your questions too. You were talking to a former world championship player, which was great. And I want to give a nice clap to the everybody in the chat and everybody that's listening that can't come on the chat. You guys are fabulous. I wouldn't trade you guys for the world. Thank you so much for being here for us.
The Pittsburgh Pirates reporter here.
Mr. Met is saying the Yankees are closing in on a deal for Mitch Keller. So it's all over the place.
Hold on a second. No, Yankees are closing on the deal with.
What are you seeing? Could they possibly announce a trade before they go on the air today?
I mean, I hear the last update I see is the Yankees are gaining steam on their pursuit of Mitch Keller. That's all.
Right. Let's see here. No, nothing's changed. Nothing's really changed on Bleacher Report. I'm searching Bleacher Report. Nasty One says I'm hearing Zeth Lugo also. So we got to keep our hats on. We got to keep.
Jake Mcgee just said it went really good.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, he's cool guy, great guy. Answered everything honestly. Nathan is being called a goat by
What's up,
Sean
Sean?
Browning.
Thank you, Sean.
Let's see, Mick the Quick. They trade Jones. I'm done with the team. Thank you, Mick. Love you. Absolutely. Oh, man. You get a big hug from me. No trade of Jones. Nothing. I do not want it.
Yeah. What's up, man?
I do not want that trade. What do you think of the Nathan? What do you think of the lineup?
What happened?
What do you think of the lineup?
Oh, the lineup is out now.
Yeah, the lineup's out. There's no Bellinger, but he's two for 22 against Gosman.
Well, I don't. Just throw away. You got to throw away the numbers, man. You got to keep Bellinger in the lineup.
Yeah, so we have Grissom, Judge, Chisholm, Stanton, Dominguez, Goldschmidt, Wells, Volpe, Peraza. They have Volpe batting 8th.
Wow.
Oh, my God. They are listening to me. That's where you're going to get the best out of Anthony Volpe. Listen to me.
I'm so surprised that Bellinger's not in the lineup. That thing is mind-boggling to me. They care about analytics, like Sullivan, yeah.
I don't like Grissom leading off. Yashin says. Charles says Belly should be in the lineup. Jake says, what? Keller is traded to the Yankees? I don't think it's done. They're saying they're closing in on it, but unless it's done, it doesn't mean anything.
From Mama and Bananas, they're here today.
So
good Bananas and
Bryce,
they were outside earlier today, I guess.
Let's see. Bryce is saying I'm hearing Mike Trout. What does Mike Trout have? There's no way we're talking about Mike Trout. No way.
Also.
No way in heck. The Mets claimed Rico Garcia. Yes, they did, Garcia.
Rico Garcia back with the Mets for the second time.
It's going back and forth. Let me go to the Bronx.
Hey,
Let me go here. Let me go there. Let me go here.
Joe, watch the Mets DFA him, and then the Yankees will claim him again.
Oh, please. I mean, this is such a joke. Oh, Bryce says, hey, Joe, I'm only joking. Well, I believe it because everybody's tense right now. They want to trade.
Bryce, the only news I'm seeing is Yankees pursuit of Mitch Keller from the Pirates. That's it.
The lineup isn't good. You need to switch Dominguez and Grissom, and you need to play Bellinger, period. Sean Browning, he's on tour of the boroughs for Rico Garcia.
Oh, Rico Garcia, that's what I meant.
Charles Voda says, Verdugo's coming back. No. And he's laughing, laugh out loud.
Verdugo signing a one-year deal with the Yankees.
Oh, no. Don't even say that as a joke. I couldn't see that anymore. No.
Bryce, yeah, so the what do you call it? The only news is so far is Mitch Keller. Like, it's gaining steam, but I'm not going to believe it until it happens. So,
well, if everybody has the Yes Network, whoever has it, please put it on at the top of the next hour, and then we will see what happens. But If Meredith is there, she will be on everything. So if anybody's going to know, it's Meredith. And if they have Jack Curry on, he'll know a lot more too.
Arizona Diamondback Suarez has been traded to the. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. He has been named though National Player League of the Week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, he hits a home run just about every time up, man.
Yeah.
So what are we feeling tonight? What do you feel for Rendon? What do you feel as I
feel confident. I think Rendon will bounce back. I think for him, I think he goes 6-7 innings. Like you said, Joe, I think they're gonna have a good series against Toronto because they got embarrassed when they came to New York. But I think this is gonna be a good quality start. Say 6-7 innings for Rendon, 3 runs, 10 strikeouts, 2 to 3 walks, and then probably 6-7 hits.
And who's your star of the game?
My star of the game is gonna be Judge, and Judge, Stanton, and Dominguez.
Okay. I want to welcome someone new to the chat.
Oh, make it quick.
Mary. How you doing, Alicia? How's it going?
Hi, Alicia.
Thank you so much for coming on. I hope you heard the interview. And as you come in, please subscribe. We're on every day, 8:30 in the morning. And we also do a pregame, a postgame, and sometimes we do certain play-by-plays. And we have special guests. And hopefully we're going to have more and more and more. So there's a lot going on here. So please, I can't stress enough to subscribe to NY Yankee Mania. I just want to say what's going on here today, guys.
Anthony Volpe's in it.
What's going to lead us into obviously we're on now. Then go to Ken, the Ugly Truths channel. Listen to the play-by-play as he does a great, great job. I'm telling you guys, just watch the TV and let Ken entertain you. He has a lot of good stuff on there. Also, there's Jobber and the Mount that's produced by Nitin. He's a producer of the show.
We're on tonight at 7:30.
Yep. And then right after that, with the I usually come on with in the bottom of the 8th inning as the game is over, as the game is going on. And then right after that, we will dissect the game on our post-game show. And then we will rest and then wake up for coffee, bagels, Yankee talk, pancakes, you name it. And you got to have the Lavazza coffee, the black coffee, and we talk New York Yankee baseball. If there's a trade, if there's anything going on, if it's significant or whatever, I will come back live, guys. You can count on that. That is going to happen. We'll have all the information. We've got Jonathan, we've got Nitin, we've got myself, we've got Sean Browning. We have so many people that will keep us abreast of everything. And I have a few secrets of my own. So we're covering the New York Yankees. It's getting very exciting. And remember, we're going to go on at 9 o'clock on the 31st and stay on all the way. Yes, Ben is coming back tomorrow morning, Nasty.
Yep.
He's definitely a great contributor, and he's one of our newest co-host on the broadcast.
Thanks to my team and I for helping them out.
Anthony Volpe, you leave me out for a player of the game. I'm going to rock and roll tonight, boys.
All right, I'm going to pick you, Volpe. All right, I got you, Volpe. I got you. Sorry. I'm going to add you to the list. There you go. Volpe.
I'm going to say Anthony Volpe is going to have a key double tonight.
No, I'm going to say he's going to hit a home run in Toronto.
You don't want him stringing. No, Anthony, don't swing for the fences all the time. Go for that double. I'll take 2 runs. No problem. But no, and seriously, Anthony, you got it. We've got to beat them. So
nasty one. I'm gonna just talk about the nasty one comment. Please, don't bring up like any. I don't know if Joe. I don't know if you see that, but we don't want any like.
Where is that? Who is that?
missed the nasty one.
Oh, yeah. No comment on that. Just please. This is we're live right now. I would appreciate no comments like that. If you want to talk, afterwards, that's fine. But no comments like that. I really appreciate it. It is whatever it is. It is right now. We have a great staff, and we're enjoying everything that's going on NY Yankee Mania. So, final words there, big guy. Before we end it, we've been on an hour and 20 minutes now.
I'm going to say, let's go Yankees. Let's keep this going, and I hope they do start off the series right in Toronto.
Okay.
And then
Nope.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mitch Keller or some of his teammates are Yankees by the end of tonight or tomorrow.
Nasty, to answer your question, it's not. It's fine, and nobody's upset or anything. But when you say, yeah, we bring in, you got to remember, everybody has different situations, so they're all helping us. That's why you might see people go in and out. But just to have them is fantastic. Everybody has different things. Who's working? Who's on? So. Don't think it's because something's up. It's only because people have different time schedules, and sometimes they come on and sometimes they can't. But it's not necessarily mean that they're gone and we keep changing. It's not like that. I just like to have I like to have more co-hosts. I think it brings more value to the program and to you, the fans. And I like getting people involved. That's the whole idea about NY Yankee Mania. So, I thank you for that. And no worries. Absolutely no pun intended on anything. You're a great contributor here. No drama. And let's just keep going. So,
Bryce, let me see. Yes, Robert Murray. Yes, Pirates match up well with the Yankees, and that's something. Yep, the Pirates do match up well with the Yankees. Yep, when it comes to trades. That's why I think I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees make this Mitch Keller trade happen either tonight or sometime this week.
And they might get the closer also, make it a little interesting.
And then Hayes most likely.
It could be at the Yankees get 3 players and trade 5. Who knows?
But this is not the trade I wanted. But if it does happen, I guess it helps improve. But they need more. They need more trades. Though this can't be the only move they make. Right, Joe? You agree with me?
Right. Okay. No.
Do you think this move, if this happens, if they end up getting the closer, Mitch Keller and Hayes, do you think this moves the needle?
Yes.
You think so?
I do. Yeah.
Do you think they need a little bit more pieces, or is that done?
No, I think they're still going to make another trade or two, another impact, another guy down the line. First of all, I don't think it's going to be the Yankees are going to get 3 players in there. If anything, it's going to be 2.
I guess the closer and then Mitch.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen.
But they need it. Where are they going to go for the third baseman? Suarez?
If they think it's too high on Suarez, they may just go with, believe it or not, IKF. If not him, maybe the guy that's on the Angels, their third baseman. Luis, what's his name? The last name, Rufo.
Rodolfo.
Yeah. So that would probably be another situational guy. So yeah, because Beeks is hurt and Charles is bringing that out too. No, I don't want Mercado. He's too. No, I definitely do not want him. They had a chance to get him a couple of years ago. I'm kind of glad that they stayed away. Yeah, thank you, Sean Browning. But yeah, no, I wouldn't go that route. But it's obvious. CC is being inducted to the Hall of Fame, of course, on Sunday. Take our hat off to that. Thank you, Jonathan. Yes. It is going to happen this Sunday. There's a lot going on Sunday. And believe it or not, when Sunday comes, we're 1 week away from the trade deadline. So it's going to be really, really cool. I also, for the Sunday show, the day before the trade deadline, we will come on a little bit later to give a preview of what's going on, especially if the Yankees made a trade a day before the deadline. But remember, on the deadline day, we're gonna come on. That's the only time we're gonna come on 9 a.m., not 8:30, 9 a.m. on the 31st. But as we get closer, I will explain everything. But with that in mind, everyone, we are about 2 hours away from game time. So I want everybody to get ready, have your dinner, take the kids out, go get ice cream, whatever you want. In the meantime, I want everybody to let's see. Well, Ken has some no series preview.
Ken?
We'll just call the play-by-play tonight. All right, Ken. As I said,
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ken, by the way. He does a great job doing the play-by-play for the Ugly Truth. Subscribe to the channel. And tonight is our Job on the Mouse show at 7:30. So tune in there. We got former NFL player Jamie Winborn coming on there on that show tonight. So stay tuned. Yeah, shout out to Ken.
Awesome. So again, everyone, we will see you after the game. Let's hope it'll be a very, very happy time after the game, a happy recap. And I'm putting the link to start at about 10 o'clock. If it's earlier, great. If it's later, we'll see what happens. But if you want to leave questions, if you have anything you'd like to talk about, I'm putting the link out for 10 o'clock. That hopefully the game will be over by then. So with that in mind, everyone, thank you so much for being here for the interview, for everything. Can't thank you enough. Love you guys to bits and pieces, no question about it. God bless you all. God bless America. God bless the New York Yankees. Stay healthy, everyone. We love you all. Have a great night, and we'll see you at 10 o'clock.
Let's go.